Hello everyone, this is Dawn over at Plot Chronicles. I almost forgot my name. I actually almost called myself Money Mom, excuse me. I don't know if any of you watch my other channel, Sensible Living with Money Mom. I talk about how to save money over there. But hey, I'm all about saving money over here too. That's why I use the Libby app and libraries and find ways to get inexpensive books. But today I'm going to chat with you guys about 3 books I simply just can't recommend. It doesn't mean they're not good books. They weren't good books for me, and I wanted to share why. One of these 3 books is highly recommended and highly rated. So I want to start with that one first, but I want to share why. I did a previous video about 3 things that I have struggles with in books. One is a book that starts out strong, that gets me engrossed, and then in the middle, it kind of drags and I get bored. That's number 1. Number 2, books that have so many characters. And number 3, books that are just confusing and I don't understand what is going on. Okay, this book started off good, the one I'm about to tell you, but the reason I had a hard time with it is I was confused about what was going on. I just didn't understand it. But the book had an interesting premise. I just didn't understand what it was. But it's called We Used to Live Here by Marcus, and I cannot pronounce his last name. It starts with a K. But anyway, it is a story about and I thought, oh, I'd love to have one of these homes, but a couple that moves into, I think they purchase a Victorian home, but then they find some damage and they may tear it down and rebuild. That's what they talk about. But a family that used to live there comes, this home, by the way, is in Minnesota, where I am from originally. That's where I was born and raised most of my life. But it's during the winter, during the storm, and this family, a husband and wife and 3 kids come, and they just want to see this house. Well, this woman's, partner is gone, and so she's like, you know what? She doesn't feel comfortable at first, but then she agrees to let him in, but then they stay for a while, and it's all the things that come after that. But honestly, so many strange things happen, and that's the first part of it, like people coming in. It sounds interesting, but the thing is, I didn't understand any of the stuff going on. I didn't know if the woman that invited him in, if she was having, issues herself, or what was going on. So bottom line is, I don't understand that book. If you read We Used to Live Here and you understand what was going on, I didn't understand the ending. I didn't understand any of it. I was so confused. But some books, they want to keep you confused, just like movies. So I can't recommend it because I'm confused. I like to understand what's going on in a book. Let me know if you've read it. Okay, another book I just can't recommend, and it got me engaged. It was interesting, but I'm going to tell you why, and this is just merely my opinion. This I listened to on audio, and there's a lot of people that were waiting for this book. It's by Dandy Smith, and I think I've read a few of the other Dandy Smith books. It's called Her Pretty Lies. No, that's another book, excuse me. Her Pretty Lies by Angela Henry. First book I've listened to, and this was on audio. And at first it was interesting. Basically, it's about a woman. I think she's going for her master's. She has a boyfriend, and she seems to be in a happy relationship. And, she's getting a scholarship and a fellowship scholarship for, her schooling. And then all of a sudden, everything falls apart. She finds out her boyfriend is not faithful. She loses her scholarship, and everything in her life falls apart. So it seems interesting, right? But then it does what that one thing is. It starts dragging. And then there's several characters, and I get confused. And I just got bored, and I did listen to it, but the other thing is there's a lot of swearing in there. I don't know about you guys. I'm not a prude by any means, but I don't like a book that has a lot of swearing in it. That's just me, okay? You guys may feel differently. It may not bother you. But if something is either vulgar or has a lot of swearing, I have trouble with that. But I lost interest right in the middle of the book, okay? And I was confused then by what was going on. So it had 2 of those things. So that's kind of it. And then the 3rd book was called The Wrong Daughter by Dandy Smith. I've read others of hers. Started off strong. I was really interested. This girl gets abducted, okay? And they don't know where she is. And it's her sister, okay? So her sister's older than her. Sister gets abducted. And she feels like she could have stopped her, and she's been struggling with this her whole life. But then her sister shows back up in her life. So it has that storyline and then a different separate storyline. And you're like, why do they have two separate storylines? Well, they do intersect, but it drags. It drags in the middle. And then it comes together at the end, but there's that drag part in the middle so you've got a couple hundred pages there where it's kind of slow. So those are the three books I can't totally recommend because of either dragging, not understanding, things like that. Have any of you read those books? We Used to Live Here, which is highly recommended, Her Pretty Lies, or The Wrong Daughter? I'd love to hear your opinion in the comments below. On my next video, I'm going to talk to you about a self-help book, which I said I wasn't reading, but I wanted to read this one, called The Let Them Theory by Mel Robbins. So stay tuned for that on my next video. Love you, appreciate you, and I'll see you tomorrow, I hope. Bye-bye.